I'm Lisa, and this is Be the Effect, a podcast about the small, intentional shifts that create meaningful change. Here, we explore patterns, pauses, pivots, and practices so you can create that transformation from the inside out. Let's crack on. Welcome back to Be the Effect, where little shifts create big change. I'm Lisa, habitual reactor turned conscious pauser, and living proof that slowing down doesn't mean losing momentum. Even though it can feel like it might when you're used to being the one who jumps in, fixes things, or reacts fast. Today we're exploring the space between action and reaction, because there is a space, a tiny gap between the stimulus and the response. And that space, that's where your power lives. You know that split second before you snap back in a conversation? Or send the text you might regret? Or spiral into an old story about what something actually means? You know these. I've done them. You've probably done them. I've even come to the point where I am about to snap back in a conversation. I know that I shouldn't say it because I'm probably going to regret it, and I still do it. That is that moment where I need to stop right there in that space. Most of us move through it so fast that we don't even realize it exists. But when you start pausing, even just a breath, you begin to notice it. And once you notice it, everything changes. Because in that space, you have choice. Instead of reacting from habit, history, or emotional charge, which is usually what I have been known to do in the past, and I totally don't do it anymore, you get to respond from awareness. You might still feel the trigger, but you're no longer run by it. In that space, you can gently ask yourself, what's really happening here? Not what story am I telling myself, but what's actually going on right now? What am I feeling? Not what should I feel, but what is present in my body. How is it showing up? Am I tense? Is it a feeling in my stomach? Is it in my chest? Is it sharp? Is it soft? Or is it a heaviness? And one of my favorites, what's missing? Is it clarity? So is it the ability to be clear? Is it safety, rest, boundaries, support? Often our reactions are really just signals pointing to something that is an unmet need. And when we are aware of that need, we can then meet that for ourselves without needing it from others. Or we can express with more clarity in our communication what those things are to others who aren't actually mind readers, even though we might think they are or expect them to be. Here's something important. You don't need to have the right response. You just need to pause long enough to choose a conscious one. Even a micro pause changes the energy. It interrupts the pattern. So when I spoke in the last podcast about, just give me a moment to think about that. It interrupts the pattern. It gives your nervous system a chance to settle. It brings you back into your body. And from there, you're no longer reacting on autopilot. You're responding with intention. And that's how change actually happens. Not through force, but through awareness. So here's the reflection for this week. The next time you feel triggered, rushed, defensive, or emotionally charged, pause. Maybe one breath, maybe one heartbeat, or it might be one silent moment before you speak. Then ask of yourself, what's really happening here and what's missing. You don't need an immediate answer, because the moment you pause, you've already changed the outcome. You chose awareness over reactivity. So think about that. You already changed the outcome just by choosing awareness over reactivity. And the more we practice these things, the better we get and the more tuned into ourselves we become. And then we end up with better relationships, better reactions, better environments, because we are more tuned into what we need, what is missing, and what is really happening. In the next episode, we're going to be moving into the pivot, how to intentionally move forward once you've created this beautiful space to choose. But for now, honour that gap. Trust the pause. That's where your power lives. Thanks for listening, beautiful human. I'm Lisa, and this is Be the Effect. And you'll hear me in the next episode. Thanks for listening to Be the Effect. If this episode spoke to you, share it, reflect on it, and let it ripple. Small awareness leads to intentional action, and intentional action creates ripple effects far beyond what we can see. If you'd like to explore the butterfly effect process more deeply, you'll find links in the notes. Until next time, stay present and choose to be the effect.